The offseason is about to blow. UP in Washington is staring down decisions that could flip the whole script, while Adam Peters scans the trade market like a shark hunting for pass rushers to shake up the division. Jaden heads back to the injury tent right when we needed him most. And in the middle of all this chaos, one group stands tall like a rock. 3 ELIT names on the radar, a franchise quarterback battling his own body, and the one unit that's keeping this season from going completely off the rails. If you bounce now, you'll miss the moves that could define our future. News 1. Commanders targeting 3 elite pass rushers after years of watching this defense bleed yards and points after entire seasons. Begging for a pass rusher who actually brings heat. We finally have a front office that gets the urgency. Adam Peters is not messing around. While other teams settle for draft projects, our GM is eyeing the trade market like a hunter. Jeremy Fowler from ESPN just linked the Commanders to 3 names that would shake the entire NFC East. And here's the wild part. All 3 are former first-rounders stuck in tough spots with their current teams. Travon Walker, the number 1 overall pick in 2022 with Jacksonville. Kayvon Thibodeau, the 5th pick that same year with the Giants. And Jermaine Johnson from the Jets, a guy who was on everyone's radar at the trade deadline. Peters knows exactly what he's doing. We've only got 6 picks for the 2026 draft, and likely a top 5 pick we could trade down. Why gamble on a rookie when you can bring in proven NFL talent? But here's what people miss. Walker is solid. He doesn't get the credit he deserves because folks compare him to impossible expectations. His contract runs through 2027. So we'd have 2 years to evaluate before making a long-term call. And here's the real kicker. His trade value might be just a 3rd rounder. A 3rd rounder for a former number 1 overall pick at 24? You'd be crazy not to explore that. Now, Kayvon Thibodeau is a whole different story. This dude's been in trade rumors for over a year. The Giants are desperate for draft capital to build around Jackson Dart, and Thibodeau's in a contract year. He's playing his best ball right now, and I'm telling you this, the Giants are not trading him. Especially not to us. Why? Because we're in the same division. Because his value is higher than what anyone's willing to pay. Because Abdul Carter, their other young pass rusher, isn't producing yet. But here's the guy I'm really hyped about. Jermaine Johnson from the Jets. 26 years old. He's not a project. He's not a let's see if it works guy. He's on the rise. Teams were desperate for him at the deadline for a reason. Instead of gambling on a rookie pass rusher who might take 2 years to develop, you bring in someone who's already proven. Picture this. Johnson on the left side, wrecking quarterbacks while our O-line gives Jaden time. Cowboys fans watching Micah Parsons while we finally have our own weapon. Eagles thinking their edge rushers run the division, and then Johnson shows up and wrecks their plans. Now I ask you, would you rather risk a 1st-round pick on a rookie who might take years to develop, or bring in Johnson who can make an impact right now? If Peters wants to compete in 2026, he needs players ready today, not future maybes. We've seen Jaden work magic with the ball, only for the defense to blow it in the final drive. An elite pass rusher changes everything. It changes how offenses game plan. It changes how long our corners have to cover. It changes the entire team's mindset. And here's the masterstroke. If we trade down from a top 5 pick, we gain draft capital. Use a 3rd on Johnson. Still have picks to fill other needs. Take the best available in the 1st. Maybe Caleb Downs at safety or Carnell Tate at receiver. Build a complete roster, not just patch holes. The Jets are in full rebuild mode. Their GM needs picks to justify his job. Johnson has value now, but they're not going to pay him when they're years away from competing. He left us with nothing. This time, Peters has a shot to bring in a guy in his prime, hungry to prove himself, ready to sign long-term if it works. It's the perfect move at the perfect time. We've got the capital. We've got the need. We've got a quarterback on a rookie deal giving us cap flexibility. Everything is lined up for a big-time move. News 2. Jaden Daniels injured again. Mariota takes over. If that caught you off guard, wait for this. After everything we built this season, after Jaden Daniels gave us real hope for the first time in years, We're back in the injury nightmare. That elbow that bugged him earlier, it's back. And now Marcus Mariota steps in for the 7th time this year. Cliff Kingsbury didn't sugarcoat it. It's been a tough season for him, no doubt. That's football. It's unfortunate. But here's the part that really worries me. Kingsbury admitted they never found rhythm with Mariota. Not in spring, not in camp, not in games. No consistency. And you know what that means? We're heading to New York on Sunday with no clear offensive identity. The Giants are 3-10 just like us, but division games are different. They know us. They know our tendencies. And now they know Mariota's under center. I'm telling you this. This injury isn't just a physical setback for Jaden. It's a brutal mental blow. This kid's carried the team all year. He's played hurt. He's made insane plays. And just when we thought we could finish strong, his body says no more. Marcus Mariota, Washington Commanders HD. But here's what nitrogen monoxide 1 is talking about. How smart was it to keep playing Jaden with that elbow issue? Kingsbury said they were going to be smart in some areas and try to limit exposure. Clearly not smart enough, because now we're right where we didn't want to be. Mariota's a pro. He's got experience. But let's be real. If he was the answer, he'd be starting somewhere. He's not here as a backup by accident. And the fact that Kingsbury admits they never got rhythm with him, that should scare everyone. Remember that 40-0 beatdown against Minnesota? That was with Jaden banged up. What makes us think he'll be different against the Giants? Yeah, they're 3-10, but Brian Dabble knows how to exploit weaknesses. Now I ask you, was it worth risking Jaden in those games? If this elbow turns chronic, if it lingers into 2026, what was the point of winning 2 more games in a lost season? Here's the truth. We need Jaden 100% healthy for the future. Let's see what we really have on this roster without relying on rookie magic. And protect the most important investment this franchise has made in years. Kingsbury's right about one thing. Sunday against Minnesota was unacceptable on every level. Coaching, execution, everything. And now we're going to New York with a QB they admit hasn't had consistent reps. How's that supposed to magically improve? The Cowboys are watching this and smiling. The Eagles are relaxing. The Giants, who should be an easy win, probably think they've got a real shot. I believe this situation reveals something bigger. News 3. Offensive line becomes the team's rock, but just when you thought it was all chaos. Let me tell you about the one group that stayed solid through the storm. While the defense collapses, while Jaden fights injuries, while the team searches for identity, the offensive line has quietly become our most reliable unit. The irony is wild. This group started the season in total disarray. Chris Paul not even the starting left guard. Questions everywhere. And now, in December, they're the most dependable part of the team. Tyler Biadasz talked about the dynamic relationship with Laramie Tunsil. Even though they don't line up directly, their chemistry has lifted the whole group. It started when he walked in the building, Biadasz said. Being able to talk scheme, talk players around the lead, his experience. That's real leadership. But here's what really impressed me. Dan Quinn specifically praised the left side. Tunsil and Chris Paul on those double teams and down blocks have been significant. Cliff Kingsbury was more blunt. The way he moves bodies in the run game stood out more than anything this season. And you know what that means? We finally have an offensive line that can physically dominate, not just protect, not just hold up, dominate, move defensive linemen, create lanes, impose will. Now I ask you, when was the last time we could say that about our O-line? While other groups make excuses, they're making progress. And here's what gets me most excited for the future. They're mentoring the young guys. Josh Conley is learning from vets who know the game. We share experience with the young guys to lift the whole group, Biadasz said. That's the big picture. See what's happening here. We don't just have a good O-line now. We're building an elite one for the future. When Tunsil eventually retires, Conley will have learned from one of the best left tackles in the league. When Biadasz passes the torch, he'll leave behind a standard of excellence. The Eagles have their famous O-line. The Cowboys brag about theirs. But I'm telling you this, in 2 years, When people talk about dominant offensive lines in the NFC East, the Commanders will be in that conversation. And it all started in this chaotic season where they were the only group that held strong. The Tunsil-Paul connection on the left side is especially huge because that's where the best pass rushers attack. Micah Parsons comes from that side. The league's top edge rush comes from that side. And we've got two dudes moving bodies and winning physical battles. I believe if this O-line had kept Jaden healthy all season, we'd be talking playoffs right now. Because when your line can protect and dominate in the run game, you've got the foundation to win in January. Everything else builds from there. So there you have it. Adam Peters lining up trades that could reshape this defense. Jaden Daniels battling injuries while Mariota takes the reins. And an offensive line that became our one steady force in the storm. Which of these stories hit you hardest? What trade do you want to see? Do you trust Mariota to finish strong? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear from this community. And if you want more deep Commanders analysis, that subscribe button's waiting. We're a family here, and families stick together through the highs and lows. Join us. And remember, hail to the Redskins.